Right guys, so I'm back here with the acoustic guitar that I was giving a new bone nut. And we're not quite done with the bone nut yet. We still have a little bit of overhang to cut, and we still have the final shaping and the final polishing. But as you recall, the nut slots are filed and they are, roughly where they need to be. I just have, I put on a new set of strings on the guitar here, and I tuned it to pitch, made sure that I stretched the strings so we have a nice even, tuning stability going on. And I inserted the nut, making sure the string spacing was good and as it should be. And I took a look at the bridge saddle down here, because the action right now is insanely high, and the nut slots are cut to the proper depth, or at least it's rough proper depth. So in order to get our action down even further, we need to take a look at our bridge saddle here. And we need to take, some height off of this. And luckily we have a flat bottom surface here, so we can just take material off of the bottom. This is going to help us, so we just need a piece of sandpaper and a machining square to make sure that we are still, sanding flat. And I don't know if you will be able to see this, but if I zoom in a little bit here, you should be able to see that I have made some grooves or some small, cuts. I think you can see them right there from the bottom and up. I've basically made two cuts or scrapes with my digital caliper. The top line is at 2.35 millimeters, which should be the maximum, or the highest. And from there I've basically marked out another line right under that, which is half of that. So we're going to start by taking off half of that, and not go all the way, but we're going to go half the way, and we're going to see what that will do for the the action of the guitar. So if I zoom out again here, I have a piece of sandpaper down here, and this is 320 sandpaper. We don't, you can go with something a little rougher than this, but we want to be able to take control of this situation and not take off too much material. So I've just chosen to use this, and I'll take a look at how it sands, and if it's going too slow, I might take something that's a little, rougher, something like 240 perhaps. But again, we have to get out our machine square right here, so we can, make sure that we're sanding, still sanding a flat surface and not, tilting it or curving it in any way. So with the sandpaper here, I like to place the machine square. I like to use my thumb to just make sure that we are nice and even. And we're going to take the saddle and we're going to, sand it down to the lines that I showed you. So it's basically just a process of lining it up right here, making sure that it's nice and flush, and going back and forth like this. And just continue to check our progress and see how far are we from that line, and continue the sanding. So I will move this around, make sure that we're good, line it up, and continue to sand. And I will do this, and I will see how far this 320 grid is going to take me, and if it's too slow I might change up to 240 just to get, material moving quicker. So I will do this now, guys, off camera, because this might take a little while, but you get the point here. Use your machining square on a piece of sandpaper on a flat surface, making sure that you ride the bottom of this bridge saddle against it, so you have a flat surface at all times. And you can, as I mentioned in other videos, you can take a pencil and just do a little, drawing down the line, and then sand it and check your progress. Check to see if it's as square as you think it is. So you can place it up against here. And, the marker or the pencil lines are gone basically. So that's another way of checking your work. So fairly straightforward, and I'm gonna crack on with this right now. And when I get it done and I'm you know, fairly close to the line, I'll bring you guys back in so you can see, and we can basically, you know, we can refit it on the guitar down here and take a look up close at the action. So let me do that, guys, and I will be right back. Alright guys, so I've basically just finished sanding this, and I ended up going to the 240 grit just to remove material a little quicker. But we are basically down to the line, and if I zoom in here for you, you should be able to see this. You can see right here that we no longer see the line. We still have the top line, which was the original result, but I think I'm going to stop here depending on how that looks. But we're going to put it on the guitar right now, and from there we can basically, you know, see how the height and of the strings are, and we can take another look at the nut action and see if we need to file anything down further. But this has turned out great, so I don't think we should have any problems here. So let me go and fit the nut on the guitar, or the saddle I should say, back at the bridge here, and let me stretch the strings and get them tuned in. And when I've done all that, I'm going to bring you guys back in again so you can see what I'm doing. Right guys, so the saddle is back on and the guitar is tuned to pitch, and right now we're just going to check the action at the 12th fret. So for the high E right here, you should see that we have around 1.75, 1.6, and you know, that should be fairly, you know, low enough. Up on the low E string we have around, I would say, 2.5 right now, which is an improvement from what we had before. So I believe that we can do a little adjustment to the nut up here, because right now we have some issues. I said I wanted to take the, you know, the high E down to 16,000, and that is basically what we have right now. That just slides right under there without any form of gap, so we're good there. We can always take this lower if we wanted to. We could perhaps take it down to 10,000 or 12,000, it depends. But we're going to start it there as, you know, a starting point. Up on the low E and, you know, the A and the G, the D string, sorry, we want to take it down to 24, but we have some movement, so I will have to, you know, I can't take off more from the bottom of the nut, so I'll have to file this groove, the string slot, a little deeper in order to get this down. And I believe that, you know, this should basically, you know, cure our problems. So that would be the next thing that we can do here. Let me get the camera set up at an angle where you can see what I'm doing, and we're going to take a look at that next, guys.